Oh, hello, and welcome to Al Dente Rigamortis. I'm Review Cultist.
I'm Mikey. The E stands for evil.
And I'm the gamer in yellow.
And we're here to discuss those internet stories, most creepy and most pasta, and be critically silly doing it. But tonight we have SCP-3899. Not exactly a creepypasta, but, you know, SCPs, they kind of mesh into the same realms as creepypasta. So this one is by CadaverCommander, yet again. And this is in regards to this entry in particular is in regards to the silhouetted third option from 3983. Did I get it right?
Yes.
Wait, really? Shit, I was
right.
I was literally guessing at the last two digits. Oh wow. Okay, cool. Yeah, so we'll just kind of I'll just dive into the rundown from this one. As always, you can check out the SCPs at the SCP or the SCP Foundation.wiki. So SCP-3899 is a black Peterbilt 379 semi-trailer truck with attached trailer. It seems to be driven by the silhouetted form of a corpulent male humanoid with a bill hat and possibly tentacles writhing out of him. He's designated as SCP-3899-01. The figure communicates with other people on the road and, I guess, abroad through a CB radio. So you can actually, find his signal when you're on the road. And if you have a CB radio of your own. And he goes by the call sign, the Night Hauler. The truck itself is capable of supernatural speeds and teleportation capabilities, as well as maneuverability. He can go at crazy speeds, but then brake on it or turn on a dime kind of thing, without retching or without ripping apart his truck. So he also actively avoids colliding with other vehicles on the road while he's going at these breakneck speeds by teleporting past them a couple of 100 meters.
Mm-hmm.
It also appears to be contained within the continental United States of America. However, the SCP has not been able to procure a physical containment for SCP-3983 as of yet. They're still researching that, how to properly contain it. It's kind of like Hall and Hank. He kind of just goes with the wind.
Mm-hmm.
Attempts to communicate with the Night Hauler by SCP agents and discover his and the truck's origins have been met with resistance, and in some cases, even potential mimetic effects, such as almost like a siren song-y kind of effect to certain people, the way he talks. People want to do things that he says. Despite that, this entity does not appear to be entirely hostile, and even has some sense of responsibility from indirect harm its appearance has caused. Such as sending money for repairs or replacement of a vehicle that crashed as a result of seeing them suddenly appear. So, and then that's basically the SCP entity. There's not really much more else to say. I guess only one other thing is when it teleports, it lets out a jet, a plume of acrid smoke. So, yeah, that's SCP-3899. Guys, do we have Grammar Inquisition?
Yeah.
Excellent. I did not bother, so I will let you guys then handle that. Gamer, do you want to do the intro, or should I?
The intro? What? Oh, hello.
no, that one.
Oh.
The introduction to the bit.
No.
Okay. Everyone tolerates the Grammar Inquisitions.
Yeah.
So yeah, guys, I guess I dropped the ball. I didn't do it this time. So Mikey,
that's fine.
Well, I have another it sentence.
Just one.
Yep, like last week.
Okay.
Calling cards, one per story, right?
I found one. We got one. It's the alarm. Oh god, that might have to be it. No, that's the for its sentences. It's just like it's just Janine like screaming, "We got one!"
Yeah, sounds about right.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's go to the it story then, or the it sentence.
It will also instantly demanifest if its presence results in an automotive accident. See Addendum 3899-01. Fin.
I just imagine you just brought that back up, and this is probably for an actual thought, but I was just like crash. Whoa! I'm just gonna teleport out of here. Sorry, my fault.
Yeah, a little bit. So I guess
All
it's my turn now.
Yeah.
Yep.
Do you have anything else there, Mikey, or was that just it?
That was it.
Considering he started with his final notes in regards to grammar-related discrepancies, then
I mean,
he always
sometimes-
ends off with his it stories.
does he?
Yes.
It's been we have been doing a few SCPs lately, so I might have forgotten. It's been a couple of weeks. So.
Yeah.
All right, Gamer, then you're up.
Cool. Mine is in regards to the way that it's described. It's SCP-3899 is, in appearance, a black Peterbilt 379 semi-trailer truck with attached trailer. So I looked this up because I thought it sounded a bit off. Just
Okay.
the wording of how you describe it as a truck and where the dash is located. When I first looked at it, I'm like, wait, it's like kind of like a transport truck, sort of, because it's a semi-truck trailer, semi-trailer truck.
Semi,
It seemed weird.
Yeah.
However, after looking into it more, it is right, and basically this is why, because the trailer on those is called a semi-trailer because there's only the one axle in the back, there's no axle in the front. So
Right.
it is a semi-trailer. So a truck that pulls a semi-trailer is a semi-trailer truck.
Yeah.
However, it could just be simplified way down to just it's a tractor trailer.
Is that also what like the semis are called?
Yeah, the truck that actually pulls the trailer is called a tractor.
Oh, okay.
So a tractor trailer is a tractor with its attached trailer.
Gotcha.
There's a lot of words for the same thing because English language.
Yeah,
But
I mean,
that is
yeah.
basically that's the way that I've always known them, as tractor trailers.
gotcha.
But it could just be a regional dialect thing because I'm
Yeah.
pretty sure tractor trailer is was invented in America probably.
Yeah, because like
The
when
actual definition of the vehicle is a semi-trailer truck. It just sounds weird.
I mean, whenever I think of those trailer or like those trucks, I always hear like, oh, it's a big semi. Like that's what I think of. Oh, and I immediately think of like the Optimus Prime truck because
Yeah, of
that's
course.
what it is.
Yeah, for sure. But it's kind of like a car is technically an automobile, I guess. What we call it a car. You know, there's multiple things language blows.
Okay, yeah. Why do we call it a car?
Because automobile is annoying to say.
Yeah, but where does car come from? Like as a word.
All right.
The
English word car. I know that. I'll search my brain. The English word car is believed to originate from Latin carus or carum, which means wheeled vehicle.
Oh, so like carriage. So it's basically it's like a
Carriage.
motorized. It's probably because like they used to call cars like the original like proto cars motorized carriages. So they just cut it down to a car.
Or like referring to it as a cart. Yes, as well.
Yeah.
You're learning.
Also, yeah. Well, yeah, and also like to your comment about like this thing's like name and how like there's so many different names for these trucks. Like that's another thing. Like not even just the English language, and like it's more of kind of like I guess a regional dialect thing or even like a cultural thing because there is kind of a subculture that has evolved as a result of like like the truck industry or the transportation.
Oh, for sure.
industry.
Yeah.
So like there's like different like there's like a whole like slew of like terminologies and lingo that have popped up in this circle of workers and people who are enthusiasts for the transportation industry. So yeah, it's not so much like the English language is the worst. It's just, diversity in words and language.
Pretty much. It's kind of like how a house cat is Felis catus, but we just call it a cat because a semi-trailer truck is like its Latin name, but it's really like a tractor trailer.
Yeah, like feline cat, then house cat, and then like all the different types of cats there are, like house cats there are, like a calico, and yeah, we could go on.
The different manufacturers of different trucks. That's a Peter built.
I thought you were gonna say the different manufacturers of different cats.
That too.
Cats are not born; they're made.
Mhm.
Let's see, you got your tabby cat.
Others.
Your Toyota soulless cat.
The Sphinx.
Yeah.
There's the bald cat. Anyways, moving on from that. So it was like kind of a grammar thing, but I thought it was going to be a grammar thing, but it turned out to be I learned the thing kind of thing. But I left it in grammar because that's where it started. Because fuck it.
Well, yeah. Well, Grammar Inquisition on top of like I've always kind of seen it as on top of being like us, like helping fix like grammatical and spelling issues is also like if we learn a word, I would consider that still a Grammar Inquisition because it's technically part of the grammar.
Yeah,
like it's something that we've learned as a result of finding something.
Oh yeah, like over the time of me just reviewing creepypastas with you guys, I feel like I've become a better appreciator of words because you can tell the way
Yeah.
like in regards to like reading something and seeing what's right and wrong. Like compared to when I started to now, I know a lot more about how things are supposed to be structured and stuff like that.
Yeah, it's
mainly
all
because of the grammar. Because if I'm not looking for what's wrong, then how am I going to know?
Exactly. Yeah, you become a better spellman or a spellcaster.
Yep. Anyways, moving on.
Yes.
So this one is I was gonna bring up how in the previous one I said how I kind of wish it started describing what it was instead of describing what it does.
Yep.
I kind of got the same thing here again. However, when I got into it and thought more about it, I countered myself. But I'm gonna read this shit out anyways. Okay, so basically, I was gonna bring it up how it should lead with what the entity is, especially if there wasn't an image that comes with it. Because as soon as it gets to mentioning a CB radio, it's putting descriptors on something we don't have a visualization for yet. It's just saying this entity is this, and then it starts mentioning CB radios out of nowhere. However, like I said, I'm going to retract my previous statements about the last couple of SCP entries in regards to it leading with a description, and here's why. The way that these are laid out, it's containment procedures first, then description, then interviews, which is the way it really should be laid out. Because thinking about it in world, the most important thing that you would need to know is can it be contained and what should be done around it when it manifests and stuff like that. So if you're needing to look up containment procedures on this, you already know what it is.
Yeah, you already have the classification or the classification access for it.
Pretty much, yeah. So basically, my previous thoughts of wanting to structure this more like a traditional story doesn't really apply here. I don't believe if I was hung up enough on that on the previous couple of stories that it affected my thoughts on the story. But if it did, then those would get bumped up a bit, I guess, by now.
Okay.
Are you thinking about those?
I do recall, like, because I just actually edited the last episode.
Okay,
I do recall you were like, you just like, it wasn't like a huge thing. You just like, you just kind of, you just wanted to know, like, you wanted to have a proper visual of the SCP entity you were dealing with first, and then go into the containment procedure. I don't think there were other issues you had with the SCP entity that affected your or that correlated your judgment of more.
This wasn't the final nail in the coffin kind of deal.
Yeah, this was more of like kind of like you like not either not it wasn't that you weren't getting the format, it's just that you're trying to push like a different type of format onto the entries.
That's what I'm saying, and I'm realizing that now. It doesn't really apply here.
Okay.
Because it's not a traditional story format.
Yeah, it's done up like a bureaucratic form, basically.
For sure. So then my next one here, this is in the description section. SCP-3899 has only appeared between hours of sundown and sunrise and will demanifest if it encounters direct sunlight. It will also instantly demanifest if its presence results in an automotive incident. So I feel like this section should be put into the containment section at the start, probably right before it says upon manifestation, all CB radio emissions, blah 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 blah. Because it's an important information point that is in regards to its containment procedures. That it only appears like between sundown and sunrise.
Yeah, I agree with that because It's like you said, it's part of the secure. It's part of like the containment protocols.
Yeah.
They mentioned the CB stuff at the top, so why not have that as well?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's pretty much all I got for my grammar-related discrepancies.
All right. Then I guess we shall move on to actual thoughts. This might be a short one, guys. We'll see after the actual thoughts.
I mean, you say that, but
I know I've jinxed myself already.
The past couple, we didn't do any grammar, and
That's
we talked
true.
about it for ages. We did grammar this time.
Well, to be honest, like the last one we did, which we didn't have a grammar thing, we it was about an hour and just over an hour. So, God, remember when that was like long?
Yeah.
All right, so on to actual thoughts. So I've got I say like I did say this is going to be short as I look at the paragraphs I have for quotes. So let's just dive into this. SCP-3899 also displays the ability to selectively displace itself in space across short distances, typically to avoid nearby motorists or obstacles while traveling at anomalous speeds. These transference events appear as a sudden disappearance followed by instantaneous reappearance, not more than 300 meters in a direction. Okay, grammar inquisition here. I really feel like it should be no more than 300 meters, not more. But that's just me as a reader. It's just like just one extra like letter just kind of fumbles me up a little bit.
Yeah, you're not wrong.
Yeah. So yeah, 300 meters in any direction, accompanied by a cloud of dense black smoke. Samples of this smoke obtained by field agents have invariably consisted of a mixture of diesel fuel combustion byproducts. Oh, God, say that 3 times fast. Diesel fuel combustion byproducts, volcanic ash, and atomized blood possessing inconclusive genetic markers. Guys, I think we're dealing with Nightcrawler as a semi-truck.
Yeah, a little bit.
This is the Marvel's Cars universe crossover that we all wanted coming to Disney Plus this fall.
Ah, yes.
Just like wow, just
You're
like
not wrong.
bam, because like yeah, even like appear when he usually when he it seems like the smoke the cloud of smoke appears when it reappears, not when it demanifests or when it
it doesn't say.
It doesn't say it doesn't, however. So,
but it doesn't say it does.
And the guy's name is Nighthauler, kind of like Nightcrawler.
That's true.
Wow, like CadaverCommander, if you ever listen to this, is there a little bit of an inspiration here for Nighthauler? Just wondering. I don't hate it. I'm just pointing it out.
I don't either.
But onto my next one here. SCP-3899 has only appeared between the hours of sundown and sunrise and will demanifest if it encounters direct sunlight. Okay, so it's following the occult spirit rules that have been observed in many different like esoteric circles, such as the Dresden Files and Shadowrun. Again, like spirits have like sort of a because of like the way cycles work in like day and night cycles, spirits have a finite time limit before, or like when they hit a threshold of the day and night, where like when the sun rises and such, it causes them to demanifest, or because they're basically like the world is restarting again, like magically. Mm-hmm. So I kind of like got that thing, and also kind of dredged up some ideas like, oh, Shadowrun, I could have this creature, the Nighthauler pop up in Shadowrun sometime.
Oh God.
It's only going to get worse from here, guys. I got some ideas. On to my next gameable idea. So, quote here, SCP-3899-1 appears only as a silhouette of what appear... Wait, wow. Okay. They mostly come at night. Mostly. 3899-1 appears only as a silhouette of what appears to be an overweight male humanoid wearing a billed hat. Eyewitness reports have attested to the presence of smoky, tentacular structures within the cab accompanying SCP-3899. I really love tentacular as a word.
It is pretty sick.
It's tentacular. It's like
It's like the most radical way to describe tentacles.
Exactly. I need to use that more in my vocabulary.
Mm-hmm.
But here, so this is also on top of being Nightcrawler and like a Cars kind of thing. It's also like the chunkier trucker cousin of Slenderman.
Yep.
Well,
Like-
it doesn't say that the tentacles are from him. It says
No,
tentacle-like structures inside the cab.
No, hang on. It does actually say that. Attested smoky structures coming within the cab accompanying. Okay, yeah, accompanying. So
Tentacular structures.
yeah, that's just tentacles. Like that's just a fancy way of saying tentacles.
Because saying
Or-
structures,
Well,
I feel like it's almost like it's part of the environment, not part of him.
Part of the truck, part of the crew, part of the truck, part of the crew.
Yeah,
Sort of-
exactly.
Yeah, the truck is actually partially organic.
Oh god, technoganics. Don't get me started. So as a gameable idea, I can definitely see a horror game where you're playing as highway patrolman when this guy shows up, and then like there's like a chase / maybe investigation into like what the fuck this guy is, because he's like maybe he's like he causes like there's like a major accident that comes in, and like your highway patrolman like show up, and the victims say that like it all got started because some giant truck just appeared in their midst for like a few moments and then vanished. So then they'd be on the lookout for it. Or like maybe you're a highway patrolman like watching speeds, and then this guy just pops in. It's like the Sonic the Hedgehog movie where like suddenly this like in ridiculous like anomalous speed just like kicks through, and it's just like we got what the fuck is going on? Like roll sand, guys. And to take it even weirder, I could even see using this idea and running motherfucking crab truckers, which is rules light like game system kind of sandbox kind of built-in setting kind of thing where you're playing as motherfucking crab truckers who have to get your motherfucking trucks or your motherfucking crab trucks from point A to point B for the motherfucking crab goddess. Now that's like the core setting kind of like premise for that game, but you could definitely I kind of want to use this, and so like your motherfucking crab trucker is dealing with a motherfucking octopus trucker. With the whole like inky black like tentacles and stuff like that.
That's about right.
Yeah, and just have maybe that trucker, that octopoidal trucker, has like weird powers as well, or is bringing in a shipment of something really weird, because we never really hear like his shipments seem esoteric when he like or when they're not just completely vague when he describes them to our corresponder here. And then I came up with, as I was like coming up with, all right, so a game like serious game idea, silly game idea. Wait, serious, silly together. Maybe combine the two ideas together. So you start off in a Call of Cthulhu or a Fear Itself game as highway patrolman, who then get sucked into the world of Nighthauler, and like, bam, y'all are motherfucking crab truckers. Hand me those character sheets. Here's your new character sheets. You guys may get these character sheets back if you survive the game or get back to the real world.
Nice.
So like basically sort of like pull a Ross Payton, as I like to call it, where you think you're playing this game system, but really halfway through you're playing this game system. We like to call that the double Hamlet.
Do we?
Well, some people online like to, mostly people who are fans of RPPR.
Mm-hmm.
But I digress. So yeah, that's my game idea. Is just like a truck based or like a transportation department based horror investigation that then evolves or devolves or just switches into a motherfucking crab trucker scenario. So then we move on to this next one, which is about the this is in regards to interview 389901 with like Miss Lewis, the person who survived one of the crashes from seeing this thing. So Agent Lee, I see. Well, I guess that matches everything we have in our report here. Is there anything else? Any complications, complaints? And this is Lewis. There is one thing, actually. Yesterday, when I got home, I checked the mail and I saw that I got a letter. There wasn't any return address. Inside was a bunch of cash in random bills, all wrinkly and stained like they were old and used. I continued it. I counted it out, and it was and it was over $12,000. And there was a note. It was all burnt, and I couldn't tell what it was written in. Not pencil or pen, though. Something else. Lee. Is there any way I could see that? Oh yeah, sure. I have it right here, says Lewis. Martha Lewis was administered a Class B amnestics and released upon confiscation of the aforementioned document. Accompanying money was seized. And an equivalent value was transferred to Miss Lewis's personal account after ethics committee review. Okay, so up to that last bit, I was like, damn, SCP Agent Lee. Like, the Foundation that strapped up on cash that you got to steal it from poor eyewitness victims? It was sort of like, I shot the man. A glance. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I shot the man. Bam. A glance. Oh, shit.
Well, I'm assuming they wanted that specific money because it had his potential DNA on it.
Absolutely.
Get like samples off of it and shit.
Yeah, no, that's 100% what they did, and then they just gave the person the compensated the person for the money, like with regular money, and not vector money, which is basically what what those bills are. Or is what I feel the Foundation would see those bills as, is some kind of like, basically it's SCP-3899 -2 maybe even, or -1A if you want to go even further into the bureaucratic designation nonsense.
$$. There you go.
It's SCP-3899 -1 $$12,000. All right. Moving on to the next part. This is I think this is actually in regards to the interview with the entity, and this is interview SCP-3899-02. So Knowles, SCP-3899-01. Are you receiving? SCP-301. Shit, girl. You know that ain't my call sign. Y'all on the road. Y'all using road names. Knowles. Oh. In that case, what is your call sign? SCP-3899-01. I'm the Night Hauler, and I'm coming in hot. I know y'all can feel the speed. I think we found Holland Hank's inland brother, or at least the cousin to the mantle of Holland Hank. Like,
he's just hauling a different type
hauling. What? Hauling. Yeah. Oh God. Yeah, like you just like you said before, I completely ran over you. It seems like he's just like it's hauling in a different way. The Holland mythos is strong in these CadaverCommander's stories or entries. Yes. Seriously, this is starting to feel like something out of like Unknown Armies or American Gods, like just this modern this postmodern folkloric entity or a manifestation of a more contemporary type of supernatural power or force. Like, we got Holland Hank, who's literally a manifestation of tall fisherman tales, and like dredging up these like crazy stories for like tabloids and newspapers to like local newspapers to pull up for along the coastline. And then we have Holland Hank, who is in himself an urban legend as like a ghost trucker, basically, or like a phantom trucker. And it seems like he's some kind of like
ghost trucker, actually.
Oh my God, yeah, that's so now. Okay, guys, I'm running that game. We are running motherfucking ghost truckers. It's such a fun system. It's super rules like light. Like, you guys, like, literally the mechanic is I'm gonna roll this, and then either I or somebody else, one of the other players, says no motherfucking way, and then you guys duel off with roll to see if
we can combat the GM, basically.
Yeah, to see who dictates the role playing of what's going on. So, but yeah, so that was just like, the more I was reading this, the more I was like, this is really like postmodern, like urban fantasy kind of stuff that we're seeing here in these CadaverCommander stories. And then continuing on with the interview of 02, Knowles, I see. Are you hauling anything in particular? SCP-3899-01. Ain't you listening, girl? Are you seeing this? What I got is pure rattling salvation. 18 wheels at a time. When y'all's roads is choked, when the ways is blocked, and y'all's speed is all dead and gone, I'm dropping this load, and we'll.
All right. All right.
Sorry, I'm 12. I'm 12.
All right. Let him get it out of his system.
Yeah, sorry. I was like really hoping I could keep it together with that.
All right.
Sorry. Continue. I'm dropping this load, and we'll all be drinking gas and breathing smoke. Knowles, I'm not sure I understand. Who are you? Why are you here? And then SCP-389901. What did you say?
Who are you?
All right. Anyways, SCP-389901's response to like, who are you? Why are you here? This is for the souls of the road, for the long nights and dead engines, and everyone's trying to put that horizon under their wheels. I am the roar of hot iron. I am screaming freedom. I am the death of all barriers. This rig ain't got no quit, honey. Do not stop. Can you feel the rumble? Can you see the fire and smell the burn? I know you can. I can taste your goddamn heart, and I know you want to fly apart with me. Knowles, I think I can. No, Paulings, turn the hell around. Something's wrong. And then it cuts to like a little bit, blurb at the end after that. In light of Agent Knowles' debriefing, investigation into SCP-3899's possible mimetic influence has commenced. So,
by the way, the chopper pilot's name is Paulings, not Haulings.
Pauling.
Pretty sure you said Haulings.
Sorry, I meant Paul. I meant to say Paulings if that was the case.
It's fine. You were just also playing as Holland Hank.
I was playing Holland, the Night Hauler.
The Night Hauler.
Okay.
So much Holland.
Yeah. So this is my comment here. This is a really fun entity, but it feels like it needs more. Like for this entry, like I kind of think the mimetic power at the end here should have gone a little bit further. Like maybe Agent Knowles tried to take control of the helicopter. I think is what they're in. As part of the Night Hauler's like power influence, like over her or over them, like maybe even some examples of Night Haulers, of some of the things that he's hauling, like maybe like he drops off shipments of things at certain locations, like at truck stops and such on the road, like when he's traveling and through it at night, or maybe like where he's passing by at night. In the morning, they find like skids of shipments of something, and like it's something weird, so we have like kind of like a listing of like the different weird shit that he's hauling across America.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe even just some kind of like weird and freaky list of emergent events, similar to like Holland Hank and some of the other and like the other CadaverCommander entries that we've seen. It just feels like this one, it's really fun, like the way we get this description of this character and stuff, this monster, this entity, but it's really short. Because it doesn't have a whole lot else to it other than these two interviews. So yeah, that's really my last kind of thought here or in actual thoughts. It's just like I wanted more. Like I love what we got, but I want more.
That's fair.
So yeah, that's my actual thoughts. So Mikey, these stands for evil. Take it away, brother. Oh no, I'm becoming the Night Hauler. 10-4, good buddy. Sorry.
Yeah, so a thought just occurred to me that the Night Hauler could be, in essence, a supernatural version of Speed.
Oh yeah.
So basically, he's hauling something that has to remain in motion, and as soon as he stops, it's the end of the world.
Oh god. So it's like so you take the movie Speed, where there's a bomb on your bus, and if you go slower than like a certain speed, it blows up.
Yeah.
And then you combine that with like Supernatural or like Unknown Armies, where like it's something that like it's that weird like extraordinary kind of situation, but then like amplify it to a supernatural degree is what you're getting at.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
However,
uh-oh.
When it shows up, it says when it manifests, it's always like 3 miles an hour below or above the speed limit. So it doesn't just show up going breakneck speeds.
No, but
No.
it can't. But it never says that it doesn't slow down to like near like stopping speeds. It just says that it's under like 3 miles under the speed limit.
When it shows up, it's around the speed limit. That's
Yeah.
the speed it's going.
Mhm.
What I'm getting at is, if it is directly the bomb from speed, then it would blow up immediately. Because why would he be accelerating up to 250 miles an hour if he could just take it easy and just go the speed limit and not blow up?
Well, you got to add video game logic, because in video games, if you have this scenario, as soon as you start slowing down, a timer comes on the screen. Then if you're slowed down for long enough, then it explodes. So
Uh-huh.
so he starts off at the slow speed, and his timer's going, so he's got to kick up the revs and go, go, go.
I was also going to suggest that, like, maybe not from a video game standpoint, but from like a supernatural standpoint, when he manifests into our reality, he starts off at our speeds, but then starts going into his speeds, like, because like maybe that's like how like that's his starting point. Like maybe he's trying to to like he when he manifests, like he starts like kind of abiding by our laws and rules of reality, but then as he keeps going, it's like sort of a forward momentum machine where like he just keeps he's able to keep going and start like breaking our rules and breaking our reality a bit with his speed. But if he ever stopped, that's when the world would end. Is kind of what I figured.
Mhm.
Also,
I suppose.
isn't there I remember there was a class or a prestige class in D20 Modern called the Speed Demon, and when you started bringing this up, I started like thinking about that class for some reason. Just like you're basically like a I guess again hold the mantle of the Speed Demon, which is kind of again similar to what this guy is basically, except he's a trucker Speed Demon.
Mm.
Mikey, do you have anything else?
Yeah. This also sort of reminded me of a game I once played at Gen Con a few years ago.
Oh,
And the scenario was basically you're in a world that has this weird mist.
oh shit! I remember. I was there for that one too.
Yeah.
Yeah, continue.
And basically you're hauling goods from town to town, but in order to get to the next town, you have to go through the mist. And every time you go through the mist, you're transported to another location. So basically, the example is that you could be transported anywhere in the world. So say you start off in Alaska and you go into the mist, suddenly you're in a tropical environment and
Yeah.
dealing with stuff, and then you go into the mist again, and then you're back in Alaska.
Yeah, or like you drop out and like you need some gas, and you see like an old derelict gas station. So the group stops and goes in to see if they can get some fuel there, and then like when you go and investigate that, like I remember we investigated like the bathrooms, and there was an astronaut, like a dead astronaut with like a broken like lens and stuff like that, just sitting on one of the toilets.
Okay.
It was because basically, like from what I gather, I need to remember. I'll look it up late after recording, and I'll have future me just kind of add it in right now what the title of that game was, as well as the author. Boop. Odd Roads, an RPG by Marker Slinger. Boop.
Oh, that game.
Yeah, that game.
I don't.
But the idea was basically like the world has like reality has broken. And it's kind of like a Mad Maxy kind of post-apocalypse, while Carcosa has basically devoured the Earth, kind of thing. So like, there's all these weird like space-time anomalies and just weird like breaking of reality itself. So like things just exist in this in the wasteland, in the mist-filled wastelands of the Earth that wouldn't otherwise. And your truckers, like you said, going from point A to point B, basically, and that's the journey is the adventures you go on.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm. Also, I just want to say, Mad Maxy sounds like almost like a Turkish Mad Max movie.
Oh God,
A female main character.
Yeah. No, we already have that. It's called Furiosa. At
Oh yeah.
some point, I think we're going to actually get a Furiosa prequel movie, but
Oh yeah.
again, I digress. But yeah, I can definitely see that, Mikey. The similarity, so yeah, we could also use that if that game is still in like in the works. I think they were playtesting it when we played that years back.
Yeah, they were playtesting it, so I don't even know if it ever got released.
Yeah, well, I'll have to look into that because I know the RPPR podcast, Roleplay Public Radio, was also kind of helping them along with like doing some playtests of that game I think a year or two after we played that game.
Mhm.
So we'll have to see if how it's come along, and then I'll leave a description or I'll leave a link in the description below.
Mhm.
Not gonna lie, when you say game, I immediately imagine video game. I thought you were talking about a video game you guys play a demo of.
Well, I wonder why Gamer in Yellow.
Yeah, I know, weird, right?
But yeah, no, it was a tabletop game. I think it was like a kind of like Powered by the Apocalypse stuff rules. So it was like kind of rules light with like different playbooks, or like you could like custom make your class, I think.
Yeah, you could custom make your character, and then it used different die at the time, like because you, depending on how proficient you were with the skill, determined which die you used. Now that was again in its testing phase. They might have simplified it.
Yeah. And also, since we're on the roll of like tabletop games that could be work for this, now that I think about it, actually, the Apocalypse World, which is the original tabletop system that like Powered by the Apocalypse came from, which is like the Monster of the Week, Dungeon World, those kind of games. It has it's very like it's post-apocalypse like shenanigans, but they even have like a driver class or a driver playbook and like a bunch of like Mad Max style playbooks that you could easily just make your apocalypse really weird and have it kind of similar situation like this. Or play that other indie game that we just should, Odd Roads by Marker Slinger. Boop, that one.
Yeah. So I think that's the end of my actual thoughts.
All right. And Gamer.
All right. Samples of smoke obtained by field agents have invariably consisted of a mixture of diesel fuel combustion byproducts, volcanic ash, and atomized blood. So at this point, I didn't even know there was a driver. So I'm like, oh, there's blood. So I guess that's where the atomized blood. I wouldn't put it past SCP to have a self-driving tractor trailer like the 1986 movie Maximum Overdrive.
Yeah, or Christine.
That's it. I couldn't think of that freaking name for the life of me. I'm like, what's the movie with a car that just drives? I don't know. Here's a truck movie where the truck just drives. I'll use that one.
But yeah, no. Honestly, I think yours is better because it's like, guys, the only like the reason why the trucks and vehicles and mechanical things in Overdrive gain evil sentience is because of a comet, like sends down evil radiation on the Earth.
Mm-hmm.
That is literally the origin of Maximum Overdrive.
That's also the story in Maniac Mansion for the Nintendo Entertainment System.
I mean, it was also it was. I mean, okay, to be fair, that like it was a short story that Stephen King wrote. So and then later directed the movie.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's a zany movie. I honestly like if people haven't watched it, you should because it's a fun movie with I think it's Emilio Estevez.
Sure.
Or is it is it Estevez or Esteban? I can never remember what the name is.
The main character, I knew him from somewhere. I just don't remember where.
Oh, he's from the Mighty Ducks.
Oh, okay, there you go. That's why.
Yeah, I think it's Emilio Estevez. Yes, it is. But yeah, it's a fun like it's not so it's kind of a creepypasta in terms of its like nature because it's a horror movie, but it's a horror movie that has such a zany idea behind it that it's just like. It's kind of a horror comedy. Just much. How ridiculous it is. Like literally a guy like a soda vending machine begins firing soda cans at a baseball like a youth baseball team and like kills the coach. and then while they're running around the park trying to get away from like the cans and stuff like that, the giant drivable lawnmower just mows down a couple of the kids. But at the same time, like Stephen King's character, because he has to play a character in all the movies he's in. He plays a guy who's like getting some money from a bank machine, and the bank machine just starts saying "fuck you," "fuck you," "fuck you," and it's like, honey. The ATM machine's calling me an asshole. Yeah, and so it's like it has such ridiculous like evil machine parts basically.
And like the the tractor trailer that's chasing them around has like a giant goblin's mask on it.
Well, yeah,
over
because
the front of it.
Yeah, because it's sponsored by like a toy company. I think is
Yeah.
the reason is for that weird like for the Green Goblin from Spider-Man.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, that's what it looks like.
Yeah.
Regardless, silly.
Yeah. Yes, exactly. Fits right in. Yeah. Sorry.
Anyway, the combination of materials that's in that, I'm wondering what the hell the volcanic ash is from and all that. I'm wondering if it's like there's a weird magical volcanic device that's melded with the engine in the interior, almost like a demonic looking supercharger on the engine and like infotainment center in front of the driver.
Yeah.
So he has access to like all the speeds and such.
Yeah. See, yeah, I was thinking that, or like it's a biomechanical like Hellspawn, like it's basically like oh god, it's from the Doom universe. Like before Doom Eternal and Doom happens, like there's just these demon trucks on that come in periodically. It's like combined Transformers with Doom.
Yeah, it's a little weird.
But I'd watch that. I'd play that game in a heartbeat. It's like, well, the Doom trucker.
He has a truck as well.
Yeah. Rip and tread until it is done.
Yes.
Just like the Doom music playing while you try and race and like kick demon trucks off the roads.
Yup.
But see, you went that way, but like also I feel like it might also be that the volcanic ash and stuff like that is just from like the home dimension of the truck, because again, like Nightcrawler, the smoke and stuff, the acrid smoke that he creates when he bamfs around, like he teleports, is actually because for a split second he teleports to a hell dimension and then comes back.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So you actually find out like that, and it's explored a couple of times. Like I think in X-Men: The New Mutants, or like it was like a couple of the shows and a couple of the comics, they actually explore like they try to prolong his jump so that he can actually see into that hell dimension, and it gets bad. There's a reason
in that hell dimension it's just full of that purpley smoke shit.
Yeah, well, because it's actually like basically it's like it's a volcano planet or a volcano dimension that has demons and stuff like lurking around. It's probably because his dad was Azazel, who was basically a mutant demon, or who was a demon in himself. So yeah, like it's basically like the reason he's only in there for like a split second, so nothing ever registers his presence there. But when they prolong his visit there to like see what's in there, things take notice of him, and then they start ripping into our reality as a result.
Well, that's a problem.
Yeah, but yeah, no. So like so it's explored that like maybe like the teleportation is basically like it's bamfing back to its home dimension, which is a hellscape, and then when it bamfs back in, it brings in some exotic particles. But I do like all the ideas we've kind of brought up here of like, yeah, it's this like creepy, like it's this like creepy thing inside of the truck. The truck itself is the demon, or it's just like its powers are all demonic in nature.
Could be lots of reasons.
Yeah.
Then my next note. So he shows up and he's like hauling something, like going as fast as hell while he's doing it. So like immediately, a certain song popped into my head. Can you guess what it is?
You gotta go fast.
No.
Okay.
Eastbound down, loaded up and trucking. We gonna do what they say can't be done. We've got a long way to go and a short time to get there. I'm eastbound, just watch old Bandit run. The Smoking Bandit theme.
Oh, okay.
Because the whole
guys, I have a confession.
What?
I've never seen Smokey and the Bandit.
Coming over right now.
Oh god.
Oh shit! I gotta record this first. I'll watch it later. But yeah, seriously. Because yeah, the whole thing of that show is they're picking up beer in one place and they have to get it across the country and not stop for anything. That's kind of like the whole energy that the Night Hauler has going.
Yeah, because it's basically trucker Americana, which is like trucking across America, across the country is like in the blood of America. So
yeah, pretty much,
like this character is basically a personification of or is an avatar of an aspect of Americana.
Mm-hmm.
So like
yeah,
there's whole reality TV shows about American truckers. So
well, there's reality TV shows about everything.
I know, but I'm just saying like there's like at least 3 or 4 about American trucking.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, for me, the Night Hauler is almost like a combination of both the Snowman and the Bandit. Snowman being the guy who drives the truck, and the Bandit being the guy who drives up ahead, annoying all the cops and driving really fast. He's kind of both.
Yeah,
I'm
I'm
gonna
going to
see.
watch.
Huh?
I just said, yeah, we're going to have to watch that movie.
It's classic. They get worse and worse as they go on, but it's fine.
I mean, that's the nature of sequels. It's sequelitis.
Yeah, it really is. Yeah, I could see the Night Hauler basically singing that song the whole time because he does yell everything. As good as your impression of him was, I don't think you were yelling enough, to be honest.
I didn't want to break the microphone, guys.
Yeah, that's fair. That's totally fair.
Yeah. No, if I had the lyrics there in front of me, I would have done it in that kind of American drawl that we all think of when we think of American good old boys kind of stuff.
Of course. But yeah, because of the comparisons I was drawing to Smokey and the Bandit, I was wondering if maybe there's more direct connections than what we think. Like, what if he happens to be hauling some mystical beer from one side of the shadow plane to the other or something?
It would be very
tabletop talk for a moment then.
Yeah.
If it works the same way that players and entities in tabletop games work, is like you go into the shadow plane and then you move a little bit and then you move a lot in the other world. So essentially, if this is a shadow creature coming to the normal plane, then going really far in the normal plane and then going back to the shadow realm, he's like 10 times that distance. So it's like he's jumping out of the shadow plane to make the trip quicker.
So it's a reverse shadow walk.
Yeah, basically.
Shadow
yeah.
stride? Nice.
Shadow
yeah,
stride.
no, I love it. Yeah, it's we can use shadow stride to go through the shadow world to their world, or basically we use the shadow plane as people of the mortal world to go farther in our world, and so the shadow beings do the same thing for our world. So
yeah,
I love that idea. Like that's straight up a motherfucking like we could do motherfucking crab trackers or like Pathfinder or Dungeon World or something like that, or again Apocalypse World, where like, yeah, you guys are all denizens of the shadow plane in truck form.
Mm-hmm.
You need to get from point A to point B.
We're in truck form, so we're all like cars, trucks.
Yeah, exactly.
Cool.
Again, one day I will. I need to invite Noah from Maple Syrup Blood Money and Thinking Too Hard About Anime onto our show, because he has a cork board of insanity about the creepy horror story that is the Cars universe. Like, he's got some ideas. I need to have him on the show at some point to talk about Cars, because that is a lost episode, like fodder waiting to happen.
Yeah, for sure.
But yeah, I absolutely love this idea of just like, yeah, y'all are Cars. y'all are shadow Cars from the hell dimension. You guys gotta get this from point A. You guys gotta get this from New Abaddon to Lucifer's henhouse, halfway across the country. So the best way to do it is go into the mundane drive, and just like blink from like the shadow highway to the regular highways of Earth.
The equivalent of the police from the shadow realm know that you're doing this, so they're also following you.
Yeah. Shit! It's the show.
The show.
I don't know, like the Shalice.
Like the po-po.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, in Smoking the Bandit, they refer to them as Smokies.
Oh yeah, it works perfectly for this, because that's why there's always smoke coming out from when they teleport, is because it's just like, that's how they always like implement it when the Smokies are hot on their trail.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they're just smoky entities from the shadow plane. God,
makes a lot of sense.
Guys, we need to run more games.
Yeah, because we don't run enough.
Yeah.
Anyway, moving on. So, moving on to Addendum 3899-01, the lady that crashed and such.
Yeah.
As soon as I read that she crashed, I thought it was kind of weird that even happened in the first place, because earlier on it says, object will appear traveling at or within approximately 3 kilometers an hour of the posted speed limit, with a significant distance between itself and nearby motorists. So before I even read the interview, I knew she crashed, but I didn't know why. So I'm like, okay, unless the interview says that she was just staring at it in the distance and she wasn't paying attention, so that's why she crashed, then there's a plot hole.
Yeah.
And reading on, yeah, it's bullshit, because she said, I'm in the left lane, there's no one near me. I remember checking because I was about to exit, and then out of nowhere, a huge truck just appears right next to me.
I mean, yeah, so like in that, it's understandable why she crashed, because like she could have panicked and then like hit the sidewall. However,
I'm
it
not
does say
questioning
that. No, I know you aren't. I'm just saying. However, the fact that like it does say earlier that he tries to avoid teleporting too close to anybody or stay like be near anybody is kind of weird. Like I almost feel like that maybe even should be removed or like it should be downsized. Like he will not hit somebody, but he will still drive near people.
Well, it could be that he normally teleports away from people, and this was just an instant where he happened to teleport closer to someone. So
Yeah, pretty much just the wording before needs to be changed a bit, where like the entity attempts to to only appear a significant distance away from itself. However, Addendum 389901, put that in brackets after it and then move on.
Yeah.
So like sometimes he fucks up, but
and
the wording of it before seemed like it was set in stone. Like he is always very far away from people.
Yeah, it's too concrete. It needs to have like some wiggle room for, or like at least like, or even like she's like Addendum 389901 is an anomaly, or is an exception to that rule, sort of thing. Because and then like he even like again like at the end like he gives her like $12,000 for repairs and like as an apology.
Mm-hmm.
Like I find that the most like again like I love how like human these eldritch horrors are from CadaverCommander. Like at least two of them anyway.
Yeah, two of
like,
them for sure.
The haulers are always so goddamn polite.
Yeah, which moves on to my next note, which is about his note.
Okay.
Just like about what he said and everything, and just my comment being, I love that he's just a dude doing his thing, just like Hall and Hank.
Just a guy. Like even when he like shows up in that cave in 3983.
Sure. I'm not going to fact check it. It's fine.
Yeah. He shows up and is like, I hear you, brother. You don't have to deal with this bullshit. Let's just go on the road and ride. Like he's just a good old boy. Yeah. Like he's just a guy.
Never doing
like,
no harm.
Yeah, exactly. Just some good old boys. Always doing the haul.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, no, it's basically like him and Hank are just some good old boys. Just never meaning no harm. Just wanting to inspire some stories and have people feel the rush of the highway. Nothing wrong with that.
Although the Night Hauler clearly makes bank with his deliveries, because he can just throw $12,000 at that lady.
He's like, oh, I'm so sorry. Here's some recompense. Oh right, your people don't deal with shadow money. Here, let me try and scrounge up some. I got some regular money in my pocket. Pulls out $12,000.
Is this enough?
I've been saving this for a while. Hope this is enough.
Such a cool dude.
Like that's the thing about this scenario is like, or this entry is like, it's such a cool character. I love these characters.
Yeah, like they're really likable, and especially because they go out of their way to say that he's not trying to fuck anyone up. Like he just wants to go fast. Anytime he gets near anyone, he teleports through them. Like he's not clearing the freaking highways, just plowing through people.
Yeah, it makes me wonder if these entities are like this way, so that they are like, because they are not entirely eldritch. Like they are like we brought up earlier. They're avatars. Like the Hauling Hank and Night Hauler are mantles for that mortals don.
Yeah.
To
so they
draw
still have
like
some mortal ways of thinking.
Yeah, like perhaps the truck itself is the entity, but it needs a driver. So when it comes into our reality, maybe like when it does stop in our reality, it exchanges drivers, and they take on the persona of Night Hauler.
Yeah, sounds about right.
So
it runs out of gas eventually.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and maybe that's it. Maybe the fuel of the Night Hauler is not fuel; it's the It's the person's like, it's the person's like yearning for speed. Maybe it was like, I think this is something that could be added to the entry to make it to elaborate more on it. Like if Knowles like was being sirened to be the next Night Hauler.
Oh yeah.
Like that would have been like, it's like, take us down, like, and then she just starts running. It's like, Night Hauler, just because like it starts running down the highway to like this parked like this truck that's like parked off to the side of the road, and then like the silhouetted man just like it's like, well, I guess it's your time to ride, and then like does like a you son of a bitch like hand clap to or handshake.
I would think he takes off his trucker hat, hands it to her, and
yes,
he just disappears.
Yeah, or just becomes a regular dude.
Yeah.
Or yeah, it's like the Santa Claus. Like he just like vanishes. He expires because he's been used enough by the Night Hauler.
Yep.
God, I fucking love this idea.
Not that fast anymore.
Yeah.
The truck's like, okay, you're done. You're not having fun anymore.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like an amusement park ride. It's just there for people have fun.
It's an amusement park ride that uses you as fuel.
Yeah.
Like, I love that idea so much. Like, I might have to use that for a game scenario even more.
It is fun.
God damn, that's so good. Thank you, man.
Yeah. And the only other note I have is just after the whole interview and everything, it's over.
Yeah,
like,
right?
It's over way too quick.
Yeah, that's.
It doesn't really end; it stops.
Yeah,
because
it
doesn't really escalate much. Like, there's the slight escalation of her being partially siren, but it doesn't go anywhere. Like, it doesn't even say what the effects are after that to her, or nothing.
Yeah, no, I 100% agree. Like this, like unlike Hull and Hank, which we get like an escalation of like the entities it pulls up and or dredges up.
Yeah.
We also get like a lot to know that character a lot more through that one interview. But in this one, it was going that direction and then just stops.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, no, I want more. I must have more. I've got a need for speed and a desire. Give me that build hat. Yeah, no.
I'm right there with you.
Yeah. Yeah, no, 100% agree. So
yeah, that's about it for minutes.
All right, then I guess we shall we'll move on to the truck stop here and move on to final thoughts. So yeah. What else more can I say? This is a really fun monster / entity, and there's 100% fodder here for like stories and game ideas. Definitely gameable. But I also want a fair bit more from this entity or from this entry. Like it just seems to be lacking. Or is cut short before it was like getting really good. So because of that, I will partially recommend, and that recommend is really is because of what we have here, and the partial recommendation. The reason why I'm not giving a full recommendation is because it doesn't feel complete.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's my partial recommendation. Like check this out, but get ready to feel a little disappointed when it ends because it just ends. the ride just ends.
It kind of feels like the Foundation just did that one interview and they talked to the one person that witnessed it, and then that's it. That's all the information they have on it.
Yeah. Now, one thing I will note, because when I Google SCP-3899, I am seeing there's a Reddit of a Reddit post that does say SCP-3899, the Night Hauler, and this is on Reddit /SCP, an awesome first SCP. So I think this might be the first SCP that CadaverCommander did. I'm not 100%. I'm not even close to 100% sure on that. I'm just.
There's no way that we could even know that, right?
I mean, it would be a lot more work to dig into like the history of CadaverCommander on the SCP entry. But I'm just going off of a headline that's on Reddit regarding this entry, and it seems like a lot of people agree with us, where it's like this is a really good entry, but our problem is that it ends too quickly. Yeah. Mikey, the E stands for evil.
Yeah, I'm gonna agree that it's a partial recommendation. As Cultist pointed out. I believe it was Cultist anyway. There could really be more extrapolation on the mimetic influence.
Yeah.
And really explain what's going on there, or have more interviews or something.
Like, I think I brought it up earlier. Like, have like a manifesto of like accounted like shipments that have been dropped off somewhere around America, or like Gamer brought up. Have the mimetic, have the mimetic influence of it be basically the Santa Claus, where like it passes the torch to a new driver. And that's the nature of the mimetic influence, is that it's basically like he straight up says, I can taste your goddamn heart, and I know you want to fly apart with me. Like,
Yeah.
that straight up to me, like, says, like, now that I'm thinking about it from after you brought it up, Gamer, that straight up to me, like, represents that, like, it was trying to basically pass the torch or pass the hat on to a new driver.
Or it's basically him saying, like, he wants to drag race her in the helicopter.
Yeah, that too. Yeah, it could be that. However, I want to believe it's the other one.
Yeah, for sure.
Oh god, what if like passes on the what if it's like, I don't think this is the case, but like what if like the hat being passed on changes the form of the truck as well? So like it's not always a semi. It's sometimes like it depends on whoever. So like if Knowles was actually driving the helicopter, or like co-piloting the helicopter, when she gets the hat, suddenly the Night Hauler becomes a helicopter.
Yeah.
This like spectral phantom.
Much in a helicopter though.
I mean, you just have like it becomes a cargo helicopter, like one of those large ones.
Oh.
It stops being a regular yeah.
So like the driver of the Night Hauler could have just been driving a pickup truck.
Guys, this is Ghost Rider. I just realized.
Yeah, it really is.
It's Ghost Rider meets Nightcrawler.
Yeah,
and I'm here for that.
I am too.
Why is this so upbeat? Okay, guys. Okay, all right. Yeah, let's tone it down a bit. We're getting way too hyped. We're too excited for.
No.
All right, so partial recommendation there, Mikey.
Yep.
Anything else you want to say before we pass it on to Gamer?
No, I'm good.
Okay. Gamer, do you have any surprise, like, I hated this things for me?
Well, I was going to say that, but then you just said that. So now I can't say it.
Damn it. Sorry for ruining your fun.
It's fine. Yeah, I did enjoy reading this. The character's awesome. I like that he's just a dude. He's not trying to fuck with people. But
well,
again,
he's not trying to fuck with people intentionally.
No, exactly. He's an adrenaline junkie for speed, basically. Yeah. He just loves going fast, and his enjoyment of going fast is contagious, unintentionally.
He's straight up a speedman, but as a trucker.
Yeah, but he has an unintentional siren ability with him just because of how much he loves going fast.
Yeah, no, he's contagious. That's the nature of the mimetic influence.
Yeah, for sure.
It's a brain. It's basically an earworm, or like an infectious mind thought sort of thing.
Just like you guys, I feel it ended too quickly. I think the conditions of its manifestation should be put in the containment section. But aside from that, I enjoyed the story. It's in the same vein as Hole and Hank. He's just a dude doing his thing. The fact that he's a supernatural entity doesn't really change that, more or less. Like, he's still just a guy.
Yeah.
Compared to Hole and Hank, the Night Hauler is a lot more excited. Like, he's giving 1,000% all the time, which is very fitting in what he does. And I love that he yells everything he says.
Like they're two separate they're two separate individuals or personalities. Like, yes, Hole and Hank is like, he's taking it easy. He's going fish. He's an old man going fishing. That's like a recreational, like a soothing, calming thing. Whereas this guy is just an adrenaline junkie, like you said.
Yeah, they're the complete opposite, but they're similar in a lot of aspects as well. Surprising.
God, I just realized,
like the yin and yang here.
Water and air of Hell and Hank, and fire and earth like Night Hauler. Like, yeah, they are the yin and yang. They are the opposites to each other, because one's on the ocean, or one's on the coast, and one's inland. Yeah. I was at first earlier, before last night when I was reading this and like counting my notes together, I was like almost going to comment, like, so are we going to get like an air and a fire type, or like an earth type as well? Because we got the water one, huh?
And then a heart one.
Yeah, exactly. And then a heart one. Yeah. Yeah. Well, the heart one is clearly the giant, like the giant moving necromorph in the sky.
Oh yes, of course. Yeah. Makes sense.
Heart. But yeah, no, I absolutely agree. This is like, or the heart could even be the one in the cave, because it's like it's judging the hearts of men, and like the hearts of people. Like to
the cave, that might be Earth.
Well, no, that one could also be. I'm thinking like I think this analogy should stay with like the people the ones that are actually like human to a degree, like they're inhuman humans.
Yes.
Yeah, no, this I fucking love this. I hate how it ends, but I love I love what we got.
Mm-hmm.
It's like being given a small piece of like the best cheesecake ever, but it's like only like a sliver of the cheesecake.
Yeah, it's like I really need more of that. Where'd you get this? Oh shit, really?
You're all out. God damn it.
Yeah. This is like the first entry that's giving me Smoking the Bandit vibe, so I applaud that. I didn't think that would ever happen.
I need to apparently go watch Smoking the Bandit. It's another missed opportunity. It's weird that it's a missed opportunity from my end, because usually I'm the one like, how did you not see that?
Yeah. These things happen. There's a lot of movies out there.
Yeah.
Dude, A Sheltered Life.
Yeah, quite the yes. Sheltered Life. What's funny is like I'm pretty sure I knew of Smoking the Bandit because at least 3 of my relatives, when I go to their places, like I'd see it on their shelf, but it was all. But as a kid, like I always thought it was like an adult movie, like not an adult movie, but like a movie that like I wouldn't get because I was a kid.
Yeah. Well, that might be kind of true.
Yeah, it might have been like a little bit more mature for like again, like that kind of movie, like, or I may have every time I had the opportunity to see it, I was just too young, and so somebody would have stopped me from watching it, and then I just never got around to watching it in my adult years so far.
It's not exactly a kids movie with like these guys running illegal alcohol across the United States.
Well, yeah, and there's also like swearing and stuff, I assume, as well.
Not really.
No, okay. Well, is it what's it rated? All right.
Hang on a minute. Let me find it.
I'm just googling. You actually have it.
It's rated PG.
Yeah, or issued well before edition of PG-13. So yeah, it's basically during doesn't quite take into account the continuous swearing and sexual repartee is what I'm seeing on Google. So yeah,
I guess.
Yeah, it's the early version of PG because it was from like the 70s.
So it's probably equivalent to PG-13 nowadays.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah.
Anyway, back to 3899.
Oh yeah, right.
Yeah. Yeah. So I guess just to cap
I'll give it a very high partial recommendation, almost a yes. It's just it needs more, honestly.
That's. I think we're all in agreement of that.
Yeah.
Mikey.
Yes.
Okay.
He just said that before me, though.
Oh, did he? Okay, I thought I just want to get full confirmation. So yeah, this is a really good SCP entry. It ends too shortly. It ends too quick. Mm-hmm. Like I know the theme is going to go fast, but like we need way more. Like it, yeah. I want way more in this entry, and I want to know more about the Night Hauler. God, I really hope that CadaverCommander wrote some stories involving these characters. Like they have tales like of SCPs in their stuff, but it's like I'll have to read through them to see if any of them actually have like mention Hull and Hank or the Night Hauler. And again, really good fodder for game ideas and such. So yeah, I guess all around most like very positive partial recommendation. So that was this week's episode. If you like what you heard, or if you didn't, leave us a comment in the comment section below where this gets posted, whether it be on Podbean, Facebook, YouTube, Tumblr. We're all on Twitter, so you can talk to us there. Mikey is at the E stands for evil. The Gamer in Yellow is at the Gamer in Yellow, but without that W because his name is very long.
Yeah.
And I'm at Review Cultist. You can also send us emails at aldenterigamortis@gmail.com. That's ALDENTERIGAMORTIS@gmail.com, where you can also leave us suggestions for other creepypastas, SCPs, SCP tales, spooka things for us to discuss.
Spooka things.
Spooka things. Spooka things. Yeah, if there's a cryptid that you want us to talk about and come up with some ideas, by all means, let us know. Just send us an email. And yeah, comment on our YouTube channel and wherever these episodes go up, because I monitor all of our network to see if we get comments from other places. So, and I relay them back to my co-hosts. So, if you'd like to help support the show, you can go to Patreon, look up Al Dente Rigor Mortis, and select the backer tier you'd like to support us at. We have $2 and $5 tier with special episodes, early access, extra content, such as actual play games that we run that are creepypasta related or themed, and then Within about a year, I will probably end up posting them on our sister podcast, One Less Die, a Shadowrun and gaming actual play podcast, where we run, just tabletop RPG games and campaigns from the last 7 years that I have archived. So yeah, you can check it all out there. To our patrons that are already helping support the show, thank you immensely. You're helping keep those hosting bills at bay, and we very much appreciate that. To the listeners of our show and the authors of these entries and creepypastas, thank you immensely, because without your listenership, we would just be speaking into the void. And without your writemanship, without your authorship, and these stories that you share with the internet, we really wouldn't have much of a show, because we wouldn't have anything to talk about and read. So thank you all the same. Until next time, I have been your host, Review Cultist.
I'm Mikey, the E stands for evil.
I'm the gamer in yellow.
And this has been Al Dente Rigor Mortis. Sleep well.